Oof, guys, not the best Friday for the stock market so far, but we got a double espresso to numb the pain. Cheers, by the way, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in, as again, it's not looking pretty. We're down across the board, well over 1% on every index except for the Dow. The Dow's down 0.3. Actually, the S&P's now down 0.95%, but still, man, we're down. The Russell's down 1.2. NASDAQ's down 1.7%. The VIX is up 11%. Yeah, it's not looking too pretty, so we have to break down the charts, what I'm looking to do, stocks I'm looking at, the whole 9 yards, guys, and of course, we'll break down Sofi. But first, hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon if you guys want to keep up with what I'm doing in my portfolio week in, week out, what stocks I'm buying, how I'm beating the market. All of that is on Patreon, link down below, pinned in the comments, or just simply go to stassurfest.com/Patreon. And now, cheers, take a sip of your coffee, and let's get into it. So at this point, you all know why we're dumping. Broadcom reported earnings yesterday. Their stock is tanking. Let's quickly go over there and look at that. Broadcom's down 10% right now. Oracle is down another 5%. Stocks like Nvidia's down 2%. So we're getting the AI trade, to lose value again today. I don't know why I put it like that, but the AI trade is weakening yet again on fears that, Broadcom's gross margins are getting suppressed more than expected. Investors are spooked right now because of that. And look, initially when the earnings came out from Broadcom, the stock popped to 425. So initially we were like, oh, it's looking good, right? We're up 4%. But yeah, the earnings call kicked off, and it went down south, or it went downhill from there, or I guess down south too. And we're now down 15% from where we were initially when the earnings came out. So the AI fears are amplifying in the short term, but I still don't think it's justified. I really don't, because if you look at Broadcom's earnings, we covered them yesterday, so we're not going to dive too deep, but they beat EPS, beat revenue, they got it up for Q1. I just think maybe too much was priced in. Maybe we're getting a sell the news event. And if you pull the layers back, Broadcom especially, guys, this chart looks phenomenal. It's not like Oracle's, which looks a bit questionable right now, in the very short term. Oracle's chart does look questionable. AVGO looks great. It looks phenomenal. We're still holding an uptrend. We're still right at the 180 SMA. We're at a higher low right now. So the market is taking a dump simply because of, again, Broadcom, Nvidia, Oracle. These stocks are getting nailed. There's selling pressure, but I just don't think it's, the end of the AI trade. I've been saying this for weeks, and I'm still sticking to that. And I think overall, man, the market's going to bounce back. For Pete's sake, SPY just hit an all-time high yesterday. We literally hit it at 691, and now we're pulling back to 682, all while maintaining the uptrend, all while holding above the 180 SMA, which is at about 675, 680. And on QQQ, you're seeing the same thing. Not necessarily all-time highs being hit, but we're right above the 180 SMA. The ETF is still fully breaking out. We have a golden cross, right? So QQQ, although, yeah, it didn't hit all-time highs, it's pretty much right there. And SPY literally just hit all-time highs. The Dow did as well. And the Russell, man, we're up all-time highs pretty much across the board. We're looking good. And I think ultimately, man, we're going to get a rebound in Broadcom. The rebound in Oracle might take a little longer, right? But I think overall the AI trade is nowhere near done. It's not done. And honestly, it might be done when OpenAI goes public. When we start getting all these crazy IPOs around AI, which we've gotten a lot already. But when we get the big top dog OpenAI to go public, maybe that, signals the peak. I don't know, right? Just throwing things out there, but I just don't think we're near the peak right now, which is why I'm still holding on to my Oracle calls, which I am down a good amount on right now. I'm holding those into the new year. They expire in March. I think I'll end up doing okay on those. So I'm holding that, speculative position. I'm still in a bunch of AI stocks, if you will. But yeah, that's where we're looking, or what we're looking like right now at about noon on the East Coast on this beautiful Friday. And SoFi is down about 0.5% right now. And this stock's been, flat for months pretty much. I mean, this stock's been trading sideways from since September, and now we're slowly wrapping up the year, which is nuts. So SoFi's been trading between $25, $26 as support, with resistance at about $30 to $32 a share. And clearly right now, guys, we're still near the bottom of that channel, as of course the public offering is putting pressure, selling pressure on the stock. And I said this a week or two ago, that it would continue to put a ceiling on the stock, if you will, for the coming weeks. And it seems like that's been the case, guys. And still, today, it's the case with SoFi. But the fact that it's only down 0.5%, honestly, in the midst of this crazy red day, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. And we're holding 27 roughly. That's a great sign. The inverse head and shoulders is still intact on the stock, but we just need to get some momentum to start building up. We just need to get that push, I would say, through $27, $27.50, $28, which we've just struggled to do this entire week, right? This entire week we've struggled at that point, but I think we're going to break through at some point in the near term, and we got to be patient, right? So I'm going to set my alert at $28 per share here on SoFi stock. And again, we'll see if that breaks. Ultimately, I think we're going $30, $32, but it's a waiting game at this point. And yeah, it's definitely not going to happen today, guys, as the market is getting nailed. So Rivian, I'm sure you guys saw, they are up. Well, maybe you didn't see it, but I'll show you now. They're up 16% today. And who called out this cup and handle breakout formation about, a week ago, maybe less, maybe a couple days ago? Who called it out? I called it out, guys. Not to toot my own horn, but I called this out. And yeah, I mean, we got a catalyst that's kind of helping us get to this point, or helping us see this pattern break out or play out. But hey, it's looking good, isn't it? Cup and handle breakout after we got news that Rivian's essentially bringing in their chips in-house. So they're not going to be using NVIDIA's chips anymore for their self-driving race. So it says here, this headline says, Rivian takes on Tesla in self-driving race with level 4 autonomy goal, $49.99 per month subscription, R2 LiDAR, which is interesting there. So yeah, Rivian's got some nice vehicles, right? I actually used to own Rivian stock about 2 years ago, and I sold it, made some good money. It's one of those stocks that I bought when it was at $10 a share, and it just literally ripped right after I bought it. I wasn't able to really build out the position. It ripped, and I locked in a profit. You guys might remember if you've been watching for a while. But yeah, Rivian, we got news regarding their new AI chip. And today we actually got a price increase. I'm sure this is helping the stock as well, from Needham. Price increase to $23 a share from $14 a share. So that's big. And yeah, just like we called out, with the help of this catalyst, we're breaking out towards $20 a share. And I think we're going higher. I think this might have legs to the mid-20s. We shall see, guys. We're up 17% on the day. Very good day. Very good day for Rivian. And, I mean, you can't really say that for many other stocks now, can you, right? So that's kind of a quick rundown on a couple of stocks for this video. I actually added Mercado Libre today, guys. MELI. I have a full write-up coming up on my Patreon about this later today, but I initiated a position in Mercado Libre. MELI is the ticker. This is like Latin America's Amazon. This company is growing like crazy. Very strong company. I've actually been tracking them for years, no joke. I mean, we've covered Mercado Libre on the channel before. A lot of you newer viewers might not remember, or you won't remember because I haven't really covered it recently. But we're talking like 2020, 2021, 2022, that time period we were covering Mercado. And I never really bought the stock. Maybe I traded it here and there. I'm sure I traded it, right? Because, I mean, I've been in the market for 10 years. I've definitely traded it here and there, but I haven't built a long-term position until now. And I was considering it in 2022. Looking back, I probably should have, right? The stock was under $1,000 a share, but I did buy some today, just actually about an hour ago. And yeah, the stock's down from the 52-week high about, let's see, $600 a share, 25%. They're in a bear market. The company's growing like crazy, guys. I think they've grown revenues like 30% plus per quarter for an ungodly amount of quarters straight. It's like I've lost track at this point. And they're trading at, I think, 48 PE right now, but their forward PE is like a 38, a 37, and they're about to grow revenues for the upcoming quarter by 40%. That's what analysts are projecting. So this is a serious growth company. Again, they've been growing 30+% for a long time, right? And I don't think it's slowing down. I don't think it's slowing down. And again, we're going to do a full write-up, full breakdown. Maybe I'll make a video on Mercado, but that is a new stock that I just started buying that I've been tracking for years, but I finally pulled the trigger on it as it's been downtrending for months, guys. Ever since summer, before summer, we've been downtrending, and now we're teetering over 2,000 a share. I got filled at like 2018, something like that. And if it somehow, which it's possible, if it somehow gets back to 16 to 1,800 a share, I'm going to be buying even more. So this is just one that I initiated today, and I'm going to add more as time goes on. I like the company, and I actually bought more Toast. I bought more Toast today, TOST, which I've been in this one now for about a month or two. I am slightly down, but it is one that I've been building into 2026. I think this will be a big winner in 2026. So I want to kind of position myself now before the start of the year, and that's what I'm doing here with Toast. I'm doing that with Mercado Libre. I actually locked in some profits on Palantir, a little bit on some other names, and I'm shifting some money into Toast, which again I have been. Mercado now as well, new position. I'm even considering adding a little Netflix. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about adding a little Netflix. Didn't do it yet, but I'm on the fence. Maybe an initial position, as it is down 30% from highs. I think the valuation's getting interesting here, so I might add some Netflix. Didn't do it yet, but yeah, overall, guys, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon for my portfolio updates, Discord chat, all of that is linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stasurfs.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you in the next video.